Okay, right away, I want you to put 2 hands on the wheel. You can feel the whole wheel at your fingertips, your thumbs gliding along the front side. You know, there's a perfect leather wheel, and then the center parts that would be open on a normal steering wheel are filled with emerald, this precious rock. And precious is a really important word, texture, sensation for us today. Precious. Because this is your free will, this steering wheel. Beyond all limitations, beyond all story, beyond all stuck energy, this is your free will to move through the layers of time and space. Through your beingness. Through your beingness. Any and all doing comes through your beingness. And in this, you honor how precious you are. And in this, you attend to everything you find precious, all at once, at the highest frequency possible. And it's important that we give ourselves opportunity in our bodies, like actually holding this steering wheel or sitting up in your throne, feeling yourself there. In these seats of power and of control, and that we let this physical experience relax us inwards to the center point place of precious power and control that equates to justice and equality in our own system, so that in our actions and beingness, in this internal power and control, justice, equality, that is our contribution outwards. It ripples through our radiance. We breed permission for it. And so hold the steering wheel however you hold it. Like I hold mine often quite casually at the bottom when I'm driving my car. But then there's other times where I'm like, proper. There's other times I'm even more casual, probably like resting my head or playing with my hair and driving with one hand. So just give yourself this experience now that merges this ethereal emerald steering wheel with your real-time life. Interesting words that came through there, with your real-time life. With the 3D life on the linear timeline that you've been experiencing. And yeah, I don't really want to stop touching this emerald steering wheel. There is this glistening, gentle but deeply potent power to it. And I want to touch it and be with it and it feels like my understanding of its power and of my power is beyond words, beyond comprehension, intellectual comprehension. It's like I need to sit and hold this steering wheel to have a felt sense, to have the energetic transmission merge into my awareness. Now, from doing this for about an hour yesterday, I gleaned, well, I'll start a little further back. I woke up from a dream where I had been punching a few particular people, or really pent up with the urge to punch. And some of it seemed valid based on what was going on in the dream, but mostly my dreams show me where I'm suppressing intensity, reactivity. And it's amazing what we can suppress, what we can hold. Like the power and control that goes into managing feelings and charge is so immense. And if it wasn't going into that, what are we actually capable of? And so that I woke up from that dream and then was in an alpha state, and that's where the emerald steering wheel came in. And the message that I got was like, all that energy can go into steering through layers of time and space to exist in a much like where the frustration is dissolved in a timeline, in a layer of reality where you don't feel like punching people, where that is resolved in yourself and in your situations. It's resolved in the situations because of the state of being that I would be allowing myself to inhabit by steering into a different story, a different experience of story. I posted something the other day that said, because I heard it in a channeling, I can feel this story fully without believing it. And that's what we need. And like, that's the power of this steering wheel, is like, when we notice we're caught up somewhere, we can drive right through it. Which, I just got an image of like driving through a building and it crumbling, and like, yes, it does dissolve the story, but driving right through it means that we're letting ourselves fully experience it, but without being attached to living in it. We're just letting the charge of the experience move through without believing that that's where we live or that's who we are. And that sets us free. And that is the epitome of being, pure being, where you can be anywhere and feel it all and not have to squiggle out of it, but also not be stuck there. So this emerald steering wheel is a magical tool that's come to me that I'm sharing with you. Now I'm experiencing it as more of like a giant bus steering wheel, or one that I don't even know what vehicle it would be, but one that's horizontal. That feels cool. Or I definitely have a lot of moments where like I feel the need to inhabit my inner pirate, because all of this that we're speaking to is against the grain. And in ways I am kidnapping, rescuing myself from stories that would hold me, that would keep me captive. And so I feel myself like a Robin Hood pirate, of course. But yeah, big ship steering wheel filled with huge chunks of emerald. And it really is, that brings the ocean to mind. And it really is this eye of the storm capacity where there's nothing to fear, because you easily experience the fullness of a moment without ever getting stuck there. And there's nothing to fear on an infinite landscape when you are steering and when you trust yourself because you are in your beingness. That is the quest, is to maintain the beingness. Then you maintain the trust in yourself. Then you maintain the surrender to the mystery. Then you are able to receive the best case scenarios that align with your frequency. And so, play with this. Play with this with me through your days. Please think of me. Please come back and comment how it's going. I love this for us. Experiencing our seat of power inside ourselves. When we are not in our full beingness, when we are not fully inhabiting our own body, which is accessible when we open up to feeling the feelings without being attached to the stories, that lands us in center. It opens the pathways. All charge is allowed to pass through. That means that there's no blocks in the pathways that distorts our capacity to fully inhabit our own body and energy field. It is our inhabiting of our own body and energy field that is the protection needed towards any person in allowing narcissism to inhabit them, or under that influence, trapped in that prison, or the threads of that come through our society, our systems and culture. This is the protection. And if we put that in terms of fear-based entities or energies that have room to inhabit people or systems that are not in their full beingness. If we are not fully inhabiting ourselves, it leaves room for something else to inhabit us. And that something else is usually, or the word usually doesn't feel perfect there, but the thing that inhabits us when we're not inhabiting ourselves is fear. The reason that we're not inhabiting ourselves is because we've been coerced to be afraid to do so in some way. We've been coerced that to be afraid of something that leads us in a different direction of focus than fully inhabiting ourselves. We've been led through fear-based conditioning too attached to stories and identities that block charge into our bodies, that cut off the full circulation through our system, which is what I mean when I'm saying inhabiting the whole body, is being alive in the yes, yes, yes to full-blown circulation through your system, through your energy field. That puts you in your seat of power, holding this emerald steering wheel, relaxed in your throne, as the ruler of your own domain, and your domain is your body and your energy bubble. And when the circulation is happening, like through your toroidal field at a high velocity, that's you reclaiming your attention and energy from the stories, from the tangles. And it's like, think about it, there's more energy circulating, and so it's like you can literally blast off through time and space to quantum leap, to shift your reality, to exist beyond the confines of time and space and narcissistic, fear-based, stuck living, painful, suffering. I think we can all relate to versions of that, even if those aren't the words that we would have leapt at first. It's just the feeling of being inhabited by fear, a fear feeling stronger than love and freedom. Giving it all back to source, center of the universe, plugging into that heaven place, to the divine. You are in union with the divine, and every moment that you spend remembering that you are this extension, that you are tapped in always. You need your free will. You need to use your free will to say, yes, I appreciate that, and I'm willing to experience it actively and be blessed by the relief of it. Hey. Oh. Stop. Oh. And this is No. No, it's your brother dog. You don't need to bark at him. Stop. These are moments of choice. You know, for me, that like brought up all these question marks of, oh, do I pause? Do I just stop this? Do I need to edit it later? And that caused I instantly got filled with heat. I felt very flustered. But it's that where the answer isn't about the doingness. The answer is, can I maintain the beingness? Can I stay centered? Can I be a responsible driver? That way. Not being distracted from my task of honoring the power that's in my hands, the control that's in my hands, and that it is literally dangerous when we don't pay attention to it. Whether we're talking about a 3D vehicle of any type, or this emerald steering wheel for moving through layers of time and space. It's dangerous when we're distracted. It is dangerous to our well-being when charge gets built up in our system and we become disassociated from our own center, when there isn't circulation happening all through the system. The coherence is out of order and we are unwell. And so, the dog's barking is an ongoing potentiality for distraction, for frustration. Shows me when I'm feeling reactive, which I had some there going on in me. But the message coming through was like, keep your hand on the wheel. Don't let go of the wheel to go and do something. That's giving in. That's giving room for being inhabited. It's letting go of your own protection, of inhabiting your own power. And so this feels like our invitation is like, can you keep a hand on the wheel and can you keep your eyes on the road, even with all of the distractions? Can you hold the vision of the accessibility of your quantum leaping into best case scenarios beyond your own imagining, which requires, as we were saying, the beingness to surrender to the mystery, to be available to receive. And that is my number one priority. I resisted saying it there because there are so many priorities on the table, I have a kid, I have 3 dogs and a cat and a house and a business and a bunch of other things too. But the priority at the center of all those priorities, the preciousness at the center of all of the preciousness, is do I let myself hold the emerald steering wheel? So I'll leave you with that. Love you.